Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive.
Always a pleasure.
Today is World AIDS Day.
Oh, right.
And we thought, it'd be a good time to reflect back
Yeah.
on Magic Johnson's HIV announcement back in 1991.
Yeah, what a day that was.
I mean, just think about it for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Most people just know the basics of the story.
Sure.
But we're going to dig a little deeper
Okay.
into some of the lesser-known details of his life
Okay.
and really see how his journey changed the world's view of HIV and AIDS.
I'm interested.
Before we get started, a quick shout-out to our sponsor, the OtisWho Network.
Good folks.
They really make these deep dives possible, so thank you.
Thanks, OtisWho.
Okay, so picture this. It's 1991,
Yeah.
packed press conference, cameras are flashing,
Mm-hmm.
hushed whispers all around.
It's attention.
It was a moment
Yeah.
that people, compared to like the JFK assassination or Watergate,
Wow, yeah.
this collective gasp from the nation.
I remember that feeling, yeah.
And for Johnson himself,
Right.
the news was just devastating.
Of course.
I mean, he really thought
yeah.
that he was facing a death sentence.
It was a different time back then, for sure.
Yeah, just think about it.
Yeah.
The amount of fear and misinformation
So much misinformation. Yeah.
surrounding HIV and AIDS back then, it was
It was terrifying for people.
it's really hard to imagine that level of fear today,
Yeah. It really is.
considering how far we've come with treatment.
Absolutely. Sure.
An HIV diagnosis back then, it was often seen as like the end.
It was. Yeah.
But Johnson's doctor,
Yeah.
Michael Melman,
Oh, yeah. Great guy.
he was really crucial
Yeah.
in providing not just medical care,
Of course.
but also emotional support,
Absolutely.
assuring Johnson that with the proper medication,
Mm-hmm.
he could still live a long and healthy life.
That must have been a relief to hear.
And, fast forward to today.
Yeah.
Johnson tweeted today on World AIDS Day,
No way.
talking about how he's healthier and stronger than ever
That's incredible.
after 33 years of living with HIV.
That's truly amazing.
But he also points out that, there's still a lot of work to do
Right.
in terms of finding a cure and fighting stigma,
Of course.
especially in marginalized communities.
Absolutely. We can't forget about that.
So, one of the things that I think was most impactful
Yeah.
about his story is how he just
Yeah.
shattered those prevailing misconceptions about who could contract HIV.
It really was groundbreaking.
Back then, it was
Yeah.
wrongly perceived as like a disease confined to certain groups,
It was.
like gay men or drug users.
Right. There was so much prejudice.
And Johnson Johnson, this celebrated athlete at the top of his game,
Yeah.
he challenged that narrow view head on.
He really did.
He famously said,
What was it?
"It can happen to anybody, even me, Magic Johnson."
Wow. Powerful words.
And it resonated deeply
Of course.
with the public.
Hmm.
His openness had tangible consequences.
In what way?
Studies showed a significant increase in testing rates,
That's great.
particularly among heterosexual Black and Hispanic men
Interesting.
in cities with NBA teams after his announcement.
Really?
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Visibility, honesty can literally save lives.
No doubt.
But beyond the public health implications,
Right.
there's a very personal side to this story.
Of course.
Johnson had just married Cookie,
Oh, yeah. Cookie.
who was pregnant with their first child
Wow.
just 2 months before his diagnosis.
I can't even imagine.
The weight of that conversation.
It must have been so difficult.
He described the car ride home to tell her
Yeah.
as the longest ride of my life
Oh, wow.
and then his career,
Oh, right. Yeah.
also hanging in the balance.
He's at the top of his game.
5-time NBA champion,
Incredible player.
at the pinnacle of his sport.
Yeah.
And suddenly,
Yeah.
he's facing a potential end to his basketball career.
It was all so uncertain.
The uncertainty of what the future holds.
Absolutely.
As Dr. Melman even shared, how the team was grappling with these questions.
Right.
This possibility of this monumental talent being cut short.
Oh.
And then there was the backlash,
Right.
the fear from other players
Yeah.
who initially refused to share the court with him
Because of the misinformation?
because of the misinformation about HIV transmission.
It's sad, really.
Yeah.
Tragic, really.
This is where David Stern comes in,
The commissioner.
the NBA commissioner at the time.
Right.
He understood
Yeah.
the importance of not just supporting Johnson,
Sure.
but using this as an opportunity to educate
Yeah.
and dispel those myths.
Right.
So he allowed Johnson to play
Yeah.
in the 1992 All-Star Game.
What a moment.
And that decision
Yeah.
had a ripple effect throughout the league and beyond.
For sure.
I mean, that game was electric.
Yeah.
Johnson proved that he could still compete
Yeah.
at the highest level.
He showed them.
But he also demonstrated
Mm-hmm.
that being on the court with an HIV-positive player
Right.
posed no risk to others.
Yay.
It was a powerful visual representation
Powerful, yeah.
of the science behind HIV transmission.
It really was.
And Stern's support didn't stop there.
Yeah.
He went on to select Johnson
For the Dream Team.
for the legendary 1992 Olympic Dream Team,
Wow, what a statement.
giving him a global platform
Yeah.
to showcase his talent and further challenge the stigma surrounding HIV.
What a move.
It was a bold move
It was.
that had a lasting impact.
I agree.
It's amazing how one person's courage
Mm-hmm.
can spark
Yeah.
such a monumental shift in perception.
It's really incredible.
Yeah, it really highlights the power of leadership, doesn't it?
It does.
Stern could have easily taken like a more cautious approach,
Right.
but he chose to make a statement,
Yeah, he did.
and that made all the difference.
It's a testament to how influential figures
Yeah.
can use their platform to drive positive change,
For sure.
to challenge the status quo and advocate for what's right.
Mm-hmm.
And in Johnson's case, that advocacy went far beyond the basketball court.
Right?
You know?
After his announcement sponsors started dropping him left and right.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
I mean,
Tough time.
for a professional athlete, that's a massive financial hit.
Absolutely.
It would have been understandable if he just retreated from the public eye,
Sure.
but he did the opposite.
He did.
It's so inspiring.
It is.
He never wavered in his commitment to helping others.
Yeah.
He famously said,
Let me guess.
I'm going to go on, I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to help people.
And he did.
And he lived up to those words.
He did.
He channeled that experience into something incredibly powerful,
His foundation.
the Magic Johnson Foundation.
Right.
And it wasn't just about raising awareness.
No.
It was about taking concrete action
Yeah.
to support people living with HIV and AIDS.
What'd they do?
It was remarkable
Yeah.
because unlike many foundations at the time,
Yeah.
they focused on addressing the needs of underserved communities.
Oh, wow.
They partnered with local organizations.
Smart.
They provided grants for testing and treatment,
That's great.
and they worked to combat the stigma that was preventing people from seeking help.
That's huge.
They were getting to the root of the problem,
Yeah.
tackling those systemic issues.
All right.
That fueled the epidemic, particularly in Black and Hispanic communities.
You were hit hard.
True progress requires a holistic approach.
It does.
You have to address not just the medical aspects,
Right.
but the social and economic factors as well.
Yeah.
Anthony Fauci,
Oh, wow. Fauci.
who,
Leading figure.
has been a leading figure in the fight against HIV and AIDS for decades.
Yeah.
He actually credited Johnson
Really?
with playing a pivotal role
Wow.
in shifting public perception
Huge.
and encouraging an open dialogue about the disease.
I bet.
That's huge.
It is.
Coming from someone like Fauci,
For sure.
it speaks volumes about the impact Johnson has had,
Yeah.
both in terms of concrete actions
Right.
and changing hearts and minds.
Definitely.
And he hasn't stopped.
No.
In 1999,
Okay.
he gave this powerful keynote address
Where?
at the World AIDS Day Conference,
Nice.
where he called HIV public enemy. No.
I love that.
That speech was a call to action,
It was.
a reminder that the fight was far from over.
Right.
And that message still resonates today, doesn't it?
It does.
While we've made tremendous progress
Yeah.
in treatment and prevention,
For sure.
the stigma surrounding HIV and AIDS
Right.
persists,
Sadly, it does.
and disparities in access to care
It's a problem.
continue to exist.
Yeah.
It's a sobering reminder
It is.
that the fight is far from over.
Yeah.
But Johnson's story also offers a beacon of hope.
Oh, yeah.
He's living proof
He is.
that with the right medication and support,
Yeah.
people with HIV can lead long, healthy, and fulfilling lives.
That's a great message.
And that's a message we need to keep amplifying, right?
We do.
We need to celebrate the progress
Yeah.
that's been made while acknowledging the work that still needs to be done.
Absolutely.
We've seen incredible advancements in treatment,
It's true.
with medications now available
Yeah.
that can suppress the virus
To undetectable levels.
to undetectable levels, meaning people living with HIV can't transmit it to others.
Right.
This concept of undetectable equals untransmittable, or
That's
U,
Catchy.
is a game changer,
It is.
both medically and in terms of reducing stigma.
For sure.
It's huge.
Huge.
But, despite this scientific breakthrough,
Yeah.
there's still so much misinformation out there.
Still.
People still fear casual contact
Oh, wow.
with someone who has HIV,
It's sad.
even though that's not how the virus is transmitted.
Right.
It really underscores how deeply ingrained these fears and misconceptions can be.
Yeah.
It highlights the critical need
For what?
for ongoing education,
Education, yeah.
not just about the science of HIV transmission,
Right.
but also about the social and cultural factors that contribute to stigma.
Yeah, for sure.
It goes beyond just the facts, doesn't it?
It
It's about challenging those underlying prejudices,
Right.
fostering empathy and understanding,
Empathy.
and creating a culture
Okay.
where people living with HIV feel supported and empowered,
Supported. Yeah.
not ostracized or judged.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
It's about recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of every individual,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of their HIV status.
Regardless of anything.
And that brings us back to Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go public with his diagnosis.
Sure.
He could have quietly stepped away from the spotlight.
Yeah, he could have.
But he chose to use his platform
Mm-hmm.
to educate, advocate, and inspire.
What a guy.
His story is a testament to the power of one person to make a difference.
He really is.
And it's a call to action for all of us
To do.
to continue challenging stigma,
Yeah.
supporting research and prevention efforts,
Right.
and advocating for equitable access to care.
We all need to do our part.
So as we reflect on his legacy, what do you think is the most important lesson we can take away?
From Magic Johnson's journey,
Yeah.
I think it's the unwavering belief
Okay.
in the possibility of a brighter future, even in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
Johnson's story shows us that
Mm-hmm.
even when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges,
Right.
we can choose hope, we can choose action,
I like that.
and we can choose to make a difference.
It's incredibly inspiring, isn't it?
It is.
And it's a reminder that we all have a role to play in this fight.
We do.
Whether it's educating ourselves and others,
Yeah.
supporting organizations working to end HIV and AIDS,
Right.
or simply treating those living with the virus with compassion and respect,
Compassion, yeah.
we can all contribute
To a better world.
to creating a more just and equitable world.
Absolutely.
It's really amazing to think about how much has changed, since 1991.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, the science was still evolving. Treatment options were limited.
It was a different time for sure.
Now we have things like Pre-P,
Right.
which has been a game changer for prevention.
That.
And the medications today
Yeah.
allow people with HIV to live long and healthy lives.
It's truly remarkable.
It really is a remarkable transformation.
It is.
And you're right, the development of Pre-P has been revolutionary.
Revolutionary.
It's a powerful tool
Yeah.
for preventing HIV transmission.
It's really effective.
And it's been shown to be highly effective, especially when taken as prescribed.
That's the key.
It really highlights how far we've come
Yeah,
in terms of scientific advancement.
for sure.
And with medications that can suppress the virus to undetectable levels,
Right.
it's now possible for people living with HIV to not transmit the virus to others.
That's right.
That's a huge breakthrough,
Huge.
both medically and socially.
Absolutely.
You,
Undetectable.
detectable equals untransmittable.
It's a game changer.
Has been a game changer.
For sure.
It's a message that needs to be, shouted from the rooftops.
Spread the word.
Because even with all this progress,
Yeah.
misconceptions and fears still persist.
Sadly.
Yeah. There are still instances of discrimination
Really?
against people living with HIV.
It's unbelievable.
Even though scientifically,
Yeah.
there's no reason to fear casual contact.
It's just ignorance.
It's a reminder that science alone isn't enough.
No, it's not.
We need to address those deeply ingrained societal attitudes and prejudices
Absolutely.
that fuel the stigma.
Education is key.
Education is key,
Yeah.
but it has to go beyond just the basic facts about transmission.
I agree.
We need to foster empathy, understanding, and compassion.
We do.
It's about changing hearts and minds,
Yeah.
creating a culture where people living with HIV feel supported and empowered,
Empowered. Yeah.
not ostracized or judged.
Right.
It's about recognizing the inherent worth and dignity
Yeah.
of every individual,
Absolutely.
regardless of their HIV status.
Regardless of anything.
And that's where storytelling,
Yeah.
like Magic Johnson's story, can be so powerful.
That's true.
It helps us connect with the human side of this epidemic.